Hello all, today we will discuss about right to internet access. In this video we will see why was this topic in news. Is internet access a human right or a fundamental right, or is it linked to any other fundamental rights? What is the stand of United Nations or any other countries with respect to internet access? So in India, what is the present status? Also, what are all the government initiatives taken in order to improve the internet access? So let's get started. So why was this in news? Recently, Kerala cabinet it approved around 1548 crore for the Kerala fiber optic network project. So what is this project about? Mainly to provide internet to every household in the state. I mean to say it is like a providing universal access to all the people of the state. So other than that, they also want to provide free internet access to 20 lakh BPL families. So this was recently approved by the Kerala cabinet and hence it is in news. So how will the people of the Kerala be able to access the internet? So it is via the cable TV operators. So users, they can connect their smartphones to the cable TV modem to use the Wi-Fi technology. Also, in September 2019, Kerala High Court held that the right to have access to the internet is a part of the fundamental right to education as well as the right to privacy under Article 21 of the Constitution. So from long time, so making internet a human right has been in debate. So there are many countries which have already declared internet access to be a fundamental right. In 2016, United Nations has declared internet access a human right. This Kerala's project, it has got international attention. Last week, a study by the University of Birmingham in the Journal of Applied Philosophy, it has cited this project in order to argue for the recognition of internet as the basic human right. The right to internet access is also known as right to broadband or freedom to connect. So in very simple words, it means that everybody must be able to access the internet. Why? In order to exercise and enjoy their right to freedom of expression. So internet is also one of the medium wherein people can express whatever their views are, right? Also, one important thing is the state should not restrict the individual from accessing the internet. So there should be only reasonable restrictions only if something is hampering the country's sovereignty. So this point I have already mentioned that in September 2019, so Kerala High Court itself has held that the right to have access to the internet, it is the part of fundamental right to education, very important, as well as the right to privacy under Article 21 of the Constitution. Now we shall see how right to internet access can be linked to other rights. The first right to which it could be linked is right to freedom of speech. We know this right is a fundamental right under Article 19 of the Constitution. When we want to express something, so internet is also one of the medium wherein we can express. So obviously when right to freedom of speech is a fundamental right, now right to internet access also becomes an implied right? So it also becomes a fundamental right. So whatever the content I am putting, I should be able to easily put it on the internet. If there is a limitation on my content, obviously it is like a breach of human rights. Many countries, they restrict people from putting things on the internet, okay, because they feel that that content may circumvent the government's official information sources. In the world, China and Iran, they are the two world's largest censorship users. So both these nations, they use extensive firewall systems to block any information from the internet if they perceive it to be offensive or it is threatening to the regimes. Right to internet access can also be linked to right to development. So this right to development, it's considered to be a third generation right by the United Nations General Assembly. So what is this right to development? See, by increasing access to the technology, developing nations can further their economic development opportunities. How? Consider some low economic individuals. By providing them access to the internet, for example, they can get access to the financial services such as saving accounts, and they can get access to online trading and all. So this in turn improves the economy of the country as well. Right to internet access can also be linked to right to freedom of assembly. So you might have all studied in your constitution books that right to freedom of assembly means what? Peaceful gatherings such as protest in physical public spaces. But today, because of the technology progression, so we are seeing a revolution in the way people are meeting and interacting. Okay, for example, you take Arab Spring. How did it become a revolution? Obviously because of the internet access. Very recently, if you see Me Too campaign, how did it spread to the entire country? Again, because of internet access. Also, you might have heard about change.org. So it's an online platform wherein you sign an online petition. So this reaches the president. So just by signing an online petition, you can be responsible for causing an arrest. So therefore, internet, has become a very useful tool in the organization of protest movements and demonstrations. Now let's see what are the future regulations of the internet. See, when you consider internet as a whole, it is actually outside any state's restriction. But certain portions of the internet, they are subjected to laws of that particular country or a state. Okay, human rights activists even today they are arguing that fine, if you have to put any regulations also, let it be in the form of protection of rights, but kindly do not limit access to the internet, because access to internet is a human right as well as it is a fundamental right which can be implied. Now let's see what are all the advantages or merits if internet access is improved. So obviously all the government offices and educational institutions can be linked through high-speed network. Digitalization of government services like e-health program can be improved. IT parks, airports and seaports would also be benefited from the linkage. Small-scale enterprises using e-commerce platform will gain from this. So high-quality video conferencing and transport management will also improve, and we can link all the mobile towers for better mobile internet services. See, improved access to internet, it also reduces digital inequality. What is digital inequality? It means that people are deprived from the information. Okay, that is what is we call as information poverty. There is lack of infrastructure. Also, there is lack of digital literacy. In 2016, according to a statistics, digital literacy in India, it was less than 10%. So, in order to improve the digital literacy, obviously access to internet is very important. And also several government and private sector services today, they have become digital. So if you don't have access to internet, you are deprived of all those services. Obviously this increases digital inequality, and also it widens the gap. It means that digital divide also increases. So let's see what are all the other government initiatives which are closely related to internet access. There's a mission called as National Digital Literacy Mission. According to this mission, the government of India wants to make one person in every family digitally literate. So how is this possible? Only through internet access. The next project is the BharatNet project. So this project helps in improving the internet access. According to this project, actually the deadline is already over. The government by 2017 wanted to provide affordable broadband connectivity of 2 Mbps to 20 Mbps to all the households. But the government initiatives to improve the internet access, it's going in a very slow pace. However, the government of Kerala, which it has taken the decision to provide free universal access to internet to all the people of the state, is really a very appreciable move. So this is all about today's topic of right to internet access. Thank you all. Have a nice day.